Okay. All right. So we're gonna talk about the leathers here. It's not a traditional cow leather, but this
No.
is goat and sheep. Right?
It's basically, yeah, sheep lambskin.
Lambskin.
Top quality. There are many qualities, but Spain they have a certain way of working it, and some of them you can't even find outside of Spain. So it's
So what makes your leather? Your leather is very soft, very very soft, almost like
butter.
yes, yes, very much like butter. It's not like the traditional American cow hide.
Yeah, yeah.
So what is it that makes your leather so soft? Is it the way you process?
I think it's my choice in the material, because you obviously can get different qualities. It has a lot to do with the quality of it. But I do work with a lot of it. I hand stain, for instance, and that does soften it up a lot. So it does sometimes have to do with the way you work it. But it's mostly my choice of the quality that I use.
Okay, well let's go over and look at some of your leathers there.
Okay.
And so this is your line here.
Yeah. Here are some shirts. This is the only goat skin I have, but it's super, super high quality and soft. At the moment, I just really work with lambskin. And I tend to use a lot of the natural bits. Usually people throw all this away, but for some reason I think it's beautiful to see the natural shape and all, of course. And then I have this style, which, for instance, I hand stain and what would you call it? Distress it a little bit, or give it an antique look. And that's for my artistic satisfaction.
That's that faux side in you.
Yeah, I have to.
Faux painter, right?
Yeah, I have to put some of my heart into it.
I see. Okay, well let's go ahead and talk about this. So how do you like color? I'm looking at here this color here.
Yes.
Of this leather.
This is hand stained. It's. I mean, originally it is have this kind of rust brown color, but if I'm not happy with it, I need to give it a bit of a touch of my own
Twist to it, eh?
twist to it, exactly.
I see.
So that's when I hand stain it, and in Spain they're very traditional. They don't do anything like that. They don't believe in messing with the leather very much. So it's kind of innovative there to do things like that. This is also hand stained, for instance.
And what color would that be?
I call this a burnt caramel.
Burnt caramel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it looks like burnt caramel.
So what are some of your colors that's coming out for the since it's the early part of the year? What do you have coming up this early part of the year?
I basically have, from what you see, I mean, I'm going to show you. Here you have
Your color scheme here.
a color scheme of what I'm working with. I believe very much in black. I love black. It always works for me. I like these industrial, I call this industrial green. It's a very light, kind of industrial look. That's what that suit is made of, right there.
Okay.
And I
That's
use
very
grays.
clean. It looks very clean.
Yeah, some grays, industrial gray. And then I work with, again, these stained, a red, what would you call that, like
cranberry.
Yeah, that's a good word for it. There's another word I'm thinking of, which I can't think of right now, but it's stained also, a gray, charcoal gray stain, the rust stain, the burnt caramel stain, and then of course simple black.
So why did you pick this color palette, I should say? Is there a reason behind that? Is that easy for you to design with or create or?
Just what inspired me at the moment, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't really plan it. I'm a bit unconventional as far as a designer. I sometimes I feel a little bit strange to call myself a designer. I kind of construct my stuff because I prefer, as I go along, to be inspired by what I want to change. Like this dress, for instance, it's the first piece I brought from women's wear, but it's it's not very conventional. I mean, the shape is, but I work a lot with the edges and the rough bits, and I just like to build it as I go along.
I see.
Honest.
So you work primarily, because I hear you do custom,
Yes, I do.
and do you custom men or custom women? Because what's your line? Your line is primarily women, or what?
My first line really coming out is menswear.
Okay.
And I have an urban wear.
Uh-huh.
As you can see, that's mostly the hand stained stuff, the jeans and shirts and jackets.
Yes.
And then I have the classic suits.
Tuxedo
there and
Yeah.
suits. But I am now going to be coming out with a women's line this year.
Okay.
This is the first piece. I brought this especially for the event because it is Couture Week.
Yes.
I'm also starting a line with home decor. These are pillowcases, for instance.
Okay.
Lined, and this is like a kind of, well, I made it as a bed, which you might call a bed throw or something. So I'm kind of doing a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Bag, computer bag.
Oh, okay.
Here.
That'll work. That'll work.
So,
Yes. Very fashionable. Very fashionable.
So yeah, that's...
Okay. Hey, I want to thank you for being on the show, and I'm definitely going to keep up with you.
Thank you.
For sure.
Send me an email.
I will.
Okay.